Folks. It's a man of Manetheren here. Been a few moments since I did a video, but I saw this headline earlier today. Thanks to the R White Cloaks subreddit, and this is quite an interesting article. And let's be honest, should you be surprised? And the answer is absolutely not. Headline: Why the Wheel of Time Season 2 may introduce a sixth ta'veren. Rand, Matt, Perrin, Nynaeve, and Egwene are all confirmed to be ta'veren in the Wheel of Time. Here's why Season 2 may add one more. And who would it be? Yes, folks, we are looking at a complete effort of the total annihilation of Robert Jordan's wonderful work of the Wheel of Time series and bastardizing it into nothingness by overwriting it with a TV show that means absolutely nothing. At this point, being ta'veren is just like watching an episode of Seinfeld. It's about nothing. Yes, folks, this is wonderful. Let's read. Wheel of Time Season 2 may add a sixth ta'veren to the core cast of characters. Elaine Tricand. As pointed out by Podden Fane in the Season 1 finale, there are 5 confirmed ta'veren in the Wheel of Time show, which, by the way, contradicted the beginning of the episode when Moraine told Lan there were rumors of 4 ta'veren in the Two Rivers. But the series could be adding more to the mix in the very near future, and the critical applause happens. Yes, just like Oprah, where everybody gets a car, you get to be ta'veren, you get to be ta'veren, you get to be ta'veren. Everybody gets to be ta'veren. How about that? According to Fane, ta'veren are focal points for the wheel. Essentially, ta'veren is the person who possesses the unique ability to influence the future. Incorrect. That is not what a ta'veren is. A ta'veren is an individual who the wheel shapes everybody's events around. So, essentially, what happens is the concept of free will, once these ta'veren are around, gets thrown out the door and everybody gets dragged to do what the wheel desires for them in this process. So they are really tying points to events. That's what a ta'veren is. They anchor events to them and anchor people to them so that events occur the way that the wheel wants them to occur. Not just their ability to influence the future. And this is really tied out well in the books when especially Matt is complaining about how, in his own mind, when Matt is complaining about how Rand is stronger ta'veren than he is and how he can't get away from him. So it's not that they influence future events. It's that future events are tied to them and they influence everybody else's actions. And it's a very difficult concept to get through on camera, and especially when you have people that can't write, like Rafe Judkins and company. It's an impossible thing, which is why they get a passing mention in the very first minute of the show, and the next time you hear the word ta'veren isn't until Podden Fane's explaining it in episode 8. They completely overlook it. And so all of a sudden when Podden Fane mentions it in the beginning, you're supposed to remember 8 hours ago what Moraine just mentioned in passing to Lan. This show is total garbage. And so, why not have another ta'veren added to the list? The wheel weaves life threads around them, thus enabling them to create massive changes in the pattern and heavily impact the fates of the people around them. So that part's right, but it's not them influencing the future, it's the wheel doing it. The significance of being Taviran is reflected on how rare they are, which is why Fane was so surprised to discover that the Two Rivers villages was not the home of one, but 5 of them. In the books, it's just Rand, Mat, and Perrin being Taviran. And the reason why the wheel does this is these 3 characters are going to go into different parts of the world, and they are going to be influence points to bring in everybody else to Tarmangaden, the final battle, right? So this is complete idiocy. Now all of a sudden there are 5 of them. But if the 5 of them are all sticking around together, how are they going to influence the world? Well, let's bring in a 6th one. There's the Harry Potter ad. Who cares? All right. So a 6th character could be established as Taverin. Confirmed to join in Season 2 is Sir Caneve's... I don't know if I pronounced that right. My apologies, miss, if I did. Elaine, the daughter heir of Andor and one of Rand's main 3 love interests in the Jordan books. She wasn't a Taviran in the source material, but previous changes made to the story indicate that things will be a bit different for her in Amazon's adaptation. No kidding. No kidding. Important to note, at least they've got some honesty in here. In the books, Nynaeve and Egwene weren't Taviran either. Possibly the interest of putting more emphasis on the importance of the story, the show gave them Taviran status. It's like it's a Mario Brothers game where if you need to get big, you go ahead and grab a mushroom and all of a sudden you're big and important. And based on how Elaine fits into what comes next, it makes sense for her to be Taviran as well. No, it doesn't. No. No, no, no. Elaine is the 3rd member of the trio of the female characters, between the other 2 being Egwene and Nynaeve. Elaine has left the royal palace to arrive in the White Tower, so that's where she's going to be beginning, and then she's going to befriend the 2 women and embark on a number of adventures. So at least if they keep that consistent in the show, at least that part will be honest about the books. But except for the Taviran part. She was almost immediately lumped into the same category as the other 2 characters, yes, who were considered to be among the most powerful female channelers the Aes Sedai had ever encountered. Yes, this is true, but if you make them Taviran, all their individuality, all their agency goes out the door, because at that point, it's not them in control or them being major influencing individuals. It's because they're Taviran. It's because they can't help it. Think about that, folks. That's really important in the story. When looking at the direction the show is taking with Egwene and Nynaeve being Taviran, it won't be surprising at all if the show makes some changes to Elaine when it introduces her in Season 2. No kidding, because they've changed every other single character in the books, from the books. Every single one that they've put in the show has almost no resemblance whatsoever to the individuals that are in the show. Similar to the aforementioned protagonists, Elaine left a major mark on the story and played a vital role in the battle against the Dark One and the Forsaken. Yes, because she forced her way into becoming queen. She was a force to be reckoned with. And now, if she's a force to be reckoned with, if she becomes queen, if they follow it, if God forbid they actually make it this far in ruining the story, then it's because she's Taviran, not because she was a force to be reckoned with. So it's not too big a deviation from Jordan's story. No, they are making these so-called powerful women into not powerful women because they've taken away everything that makes them strong in the books, making them just Taviran. So yeah, so there it is, folks. 6 Taviran. Isn't it wonderful? I'm so looking forward to this. Anyway, let me know what you guys think below in the comments. If I've got something wrong, let me know. Um, boy, aren't we looking forward to this after we get done pulling our, well, in my case, my beard out, because I have no hair left otherwise. But after we get done pulling our hair out with Lord of the Rings trope, we're going to now have season 2, Wheel of Time, where my face will end up being completely bald by the end of it. Anyway, take care, y'all. Enjoy whatever you can watch that you can sit back and relax and enjoy, and let us handle this. Blessings to you all. Shagar Nivran Taishar Manethran.